Hi, I'm Anne from Game Like a Mother. Today I'm going to provide a rules overview and review of Railroad Inc. It's ages 8 and up, 1 to 6 players, and it takes 20 to 30 minutes. Let me show you how to play. To set up a standard game, each player is given their own board and a marker. You're going to take out the expansion dice. I'll explain those briefly at the end. And you'll just take turns rolling the dice, and then you will draw those routes on your board according to certain parameters. I'm going to show you what a finished board might look like. The gameplay for a standard game, you play for 7 rounds. And you have these 4 dice, and for 7 rounds, you roll the dice and you mark those routes on the board. You have train tracks and you have highways. The only rules are you have to start your routes from one of these exit spots, and it has to match what you're drawing for. So you have to have a highway connecting to a highway exit, train connecting to a train. The different type of dice rolls are here up at the top, just so you can know what to expect. If you like, you can use this as a reference tool to mark off the dice rolls of a particular turn, but I recommend just writing the number of the round in which you used those, because that will help you keep track. It's not so hard at the beginning. It's a little trickier when you're further in the game if you haven't been marking that. So you have to start from the routes, but then you can build on from there. So you can see in round 1, it was a different dice roll than this, but you had a spot here, a spot here, a spot here, and there's actually 2 more spots that were used for a total of 5, because there are also some special routes that you can use over the course of the game. You have these special routes here at the top that are very convenient and helpful. They can help you a lot expand your network. So you can use any one of these once for a turn. So on round 1, I chose one to use. I picked this one, and then I had to cross it off, and I couldn't ever use that same special route again for the rest of the game. It had 2 highways and 2 train tracks going out on either side. Then for round 2, I chose to do it again. So there was a route here. Here, you can see they're building on from the routes that were already existing, but also mid-round, I chose to use this special route, which had 3 train tracks and a highway. You can flip it, or you can reorient it however you would like. And so I turned it sideways and to have it be like this, and then crossed that off. You can use a total of 3 over the course of the game, so the timing when you want to use those can impact things quite a bit. So after 7 rounds, you've filled in your board, and then it's time to score. And so how you score is basically you're trying to connect as many exits as possible with the least dead ends as possible. So first you count up your connected exits. And here I marked them with A, the ones that are connected first with A. So we had 1, 2, 3. This one, although it looks like it could be connected, the train is going underneath this overpass dice. So over here, you had the same thing. This is another overpass, and the train went underneath, but if it comes around and connects somewhere else, then it connects all of the routes. Here, it didn't have the chance to do it. It just went underneath the overpass, and it didn't connect to anything. So it wouldn't be part of the A group. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which you look on this chart here and is worth 20 points. And then this didn't connect to anything. These didn't connect to anything. So we have B is these 2 together, which is worth 4 points. You'd score 24 points for that. You get some bonus points for your longest highway. And to count that, you just look for your longest stretch of highway and you count along 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It doesn't matter that there's another piece from here. It has to be continuous, that you're able to go along and count it. And so then train track was 9. Same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It doesn't matter if you choose to count this way or this way. It's the same. So that's 9 points. This box symbol is this red area in the center. You just get 1 point per anything you have drawn in those spaces. And so 8 of the 9 were drawn in, so you get 8 points. And then your dead ends that don't go anywhere, you lose a point for each of those. So you go and count, and you have 1 here, didn't go anywhere. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5. And so you subtract that. This is for the star, is for if you use any expansions, which we didn't this time, so that doesn't factor in, and you tally up your score, and it's 43 points. And if you want to add the expansion dice, which I highly recommend, it adds a lot to the game, all you do in order to do that is you pick one set. You can never play with more than one set of expansion dice at a time. So if you picked the rivers, then you would roll it with the other dice, only 6 rounds of play. And these dice rolls are optional. They are not required. And you aren't required to draw them like you are with these, and you don't have to start from the side of the board at an exit. In fact, you're not allowed to have these go into an exit, and you can start them from the middle of the board if you want. So that's how to play Railroad Inc. This is the same base rules for the Deep Blue edition as it is for the Blazing Red edition, so keep that in mind. The target demographic for this game is it's a family level game for a more strategic game night, if that makes sense, because the rule complexity is so simple from the beginning. You roll the dice, you mark them on the board, so easy. But if you're really going to sink your teeth into this game, you're going to want to do all of the expansions and get different versions that have different expansions that come with them, the little dice like this. And then I'd say it's a medium level rule complexity because you have to read up on new dice whenever you introduce them and play them for the first time. And there are a total of 28 different expansions. You can just get some solo expansion dice. Some come with sets, like Blazing Red has its own sets. Lush Green, Shining Yellow, each have their own sets of dice. But sometimes they're just dice you can get solo. And so there's something new each time if you want to introduce those. How competitive is this game? Medium, because there's only one winner. However, it's great for people who don't like being messed with while they're playing games. They don't want people to steal something from them or move to a strategic spot that they wanted in a board game. So everyone is just working individually with the same dice. So it is competitive, but you just are getting to work on your own little thing. And so that can be really great. Replay value can be very high. If you like this game, you're going to love this game. And especially if you introduce different expansion dice, it is just so much fun. Or you either love it or it's just not your cup of tea. So it's either really high or not so high. And if so, similar games, if this is just a little heavier weight than you want for a lighthearted family game night, I would highly recommend Silver and Gold. Is the same kind of concept where you're doing your own thing. You're flipping out cards and filling in treasure maps. And it's so strategic. It's interesting and fun, even if you play a lot of games, but it's a little more forgiving and lighthearted. So if this is just a little heavier than you're going for, Silver and Gold, or if you love this and just want more with different themes, Welcome to is so highly rated and so popular, and you're trying to make your best 1950s style neighborhood. And it's another flip the cards and get to fill in your board, and it is excellent as well. But Railroad Inc., so good. I'm playing through all the different expansions and versions, and so I hope you check it out. Thanks, and see you next time from Game Like a Mother.